Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to our webinar. Today's topic, Grow Your Share of the FSS Market with the latest release of Autotask Workplace. Thanks for joining us. First of all, my name is Rebecca Quinlan. I'm one of the marketing managers here at Autotask. I'm really excited to see so many partners, customers of ours, and also some new people whose names we've not seen before in the webinar today. And I'm really excited to tell you that we have Moshe Binyamin, who's our Director of Product Management. He's going to be speaking today on the webinar. And we also have Chapin, who's our Channel Marketing Manager. Now, I know that some people might have been expecting Len DiCostanzo, to be presenting in today's webinar. I'm afraid that I have to tell you that he had an unexpected change in his travel schedule. Which means that Caroline will be presenting on his behalf. She'll be taking you through the market opportunity and the partner program content instead. So, sorry to all the people that were expecting Len today, but I can assure you that Caroline is a great presenter, knows a lot of stuff about Autotask Workplace, so it's nothing to be sad about. So with that, let's launch into the webinar. I just want to do a couple of housekeeping things before we get started and before I introduce our presenters. If you have any technical problems, so for example, if you can't hear our presenters or if you're having trouble logging into the audio, then please notify me via the chat function. I'll be keeping an eye on that as we go through the webinar. Everybody who's taking part in our webinar today will be muted, which means if you need to get in touch, then you need to send us a request. We're going to be doing a Q&A session at the end of the webinar, so please submit your questions. We love questions. We want to hear from you, so use the Q&A box to get in touch. And then at the end of the webinar, you'll get a pop-up webinar survey in your browser. As we've said here on this slide, we really appreciate your feedback. It's the only way that we can know that we're kind of addressing the market as we should be and answering your questions. So please take some time. It really only takes 2 or 3 minutes to fill out that survey at the end. Also, an important thing to mention at this stage is we are recording this webinar and it will be made available over the next few days as an on-demand on our resources page. And if you've registered for the webinar via an email from us or via the website, then you will get a link to the on-demand, which you can then forward on to any colleagues that also might be interested to see it. So yeah, you'll get that access to that over the next few days. So with that, just a short bit of housekeeping. I'd like to hand over to Moshe, who's, as I said at the beginning, our Director of Product Management, and he's going to take us through Autotask Workplace December release. So Moshe, it's over to you. I hope you can hear us.
Yes, I can. Thank you, Rebecca, and hello, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. As Rebecca said, my name is Moshe Binyamin. I'm Director of Product Management here at Autotask, responsible for the product vision and strategy for Autotask Workplace. So what I want to do is talk to you about some of the changes that we've made to the product in the most recent release, but also having known that you guys are looking and evaluating us, I will also give you some additional information about some of the structural changes that we've made to the product since the acquisition. It will give you both the history of the product as well as the evolution moving forward. So with that said, we will talk about some of the changes that we've made to the product, some of the benefits that we see both to partners and clients as a result of these changes, and some of the rollout schedule of this new release and this very exciting release that we put together. And of course, then we're going to go ahead and hand it over to Caroline, who's going to walk you through the market opportunity and the robust partner program that we put together to help you work with your direct customers and make Autotask Workplace work for you. And then obviously some information about the Autotask Partner Program, what it is, how can it work for you, how can it help you, and more importantly, how can you take advantage of it moving forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and talk about the overview of changes. So with this release, so some little background. So obviously a little over a year ago, we acquired the company that used to sell the product Sooner Workplace. As many of you may know, the company prior to the acquisition has existed well over a decade that used to sell both backup as well as file sync and share technology. With the acquisition, however, we've made several structural changes to the product, and the most recent change that we've made is actually a total rebranding of the product. The structural change that we've made to the product in our go-to-market strategy is that Sooner used to have very complex or multifaceted, multi-channel go-to-market strategy. What I mean by that is that they used to sell direct, they used to sell through resellers, they had distributors, and they also had OEMs, all sold the same technology. What we wanted to do, and obviously our strength as Autotask, is really selling to our channel, which is the managed service providers and service providers in general. So what we did is we really reclaimed the product, exited the direct market, exited the distribution market. In terms of that, we are not really looking for additional distributors, and we're not looking for OEM partnerships at this point. We're really focused on resellers as a primary channel and a primary go-to-market strategy. And so we've made several changes to support that strategy. One of them is obviously we've reissued a brand new workplace manager specifically designed for managed service providers that allows them to integrate their PSA technology, Autotask, as well as RMM technology like endpoint management with the provisioning and deployment and management of Autotask Workplace. The most recent release that we're going to be talking about here represent the branding changes and the naming changes that we've made to the product itself, as well as opportunities for our partners to prominently or more prominently put their name on the product and really be the face of the product for their customers. We've also worked on service delivery automation. I'll tell you exactly what those capabilities are to help you reduce your operational overhead and really streamline the service delivery process. We'll talk about some of the new capabilities that we've added to the product that really add to the core value proposition of Autotask Workplace. And finally, we'll continue to improve our user interface to improve both ease of learning and ease of use. So let's take a look at what those changes are. So from a branding perspective, there are two objectives that we really set out to accomplish. The first one is that Autotask Workplace officially replaces the Sooner name and brand throughout the product. It really starts with the URL and really ends in the documentation and release notes and everywhere that the product name appears, so to make sure that there is no confusion whatsoever of which product our customers are purchased and working with. It is Autotask Workplace moving forward. The second thing that we did, while we've made the name change and the branding change, is really we gave more opportunities to our partners, to our resellers, to more prominently introduce their own branding to the product, so the product will be co-branded with us. So let's take a look at what these changes are. And so there are really multiple dimensions to the product. As some of you may be familiar with this technology, there is the online version, which is basically the website itself when you log in. And so that would be the Workplace Online. It also has the new login screen. We'll show you what that means. There's a single sign-on integrations that obviously talked about Sooner, and the single sign-on service provider, online and editor integrations, automated emails from the system. All those have now been rebranded and changed. And again, the product has that consistency of Autotask Workplace. From a desktop perspective, we support both Mac and Windows technologies. Obviously on the Windows, we also have an Outlook plugin, and all those downloadable, installable agents obviously have been rebranded to say the Autotask Workplace name. And then on the mobile, we support both the iOS and Android operating systems, as well as devices that run them. That means basically whether it's a tablet or whether it's a smartphone, and those would be the supported devices, and that you can then download a specific native code app that runs on them. And then on the URL side, we now have dedicated URLs for partners, as you can see the login page, as well as the help page, and then obviously separate logins for end clients, obviously, who do not see all the options that partners see. Therefore, they will really get a much simpler, shorter, easy-to-use URL that you see there in front of you, which is awp.autotask.net/login, and then ID equals some number there. So again, very comprehensive rebranding of the different dimensions. So here's an example of the login for partners. The partner login, as you can see here. We obviously offer other technologies as well, including PSA, RMM, and endpoint backup. and now you have a multi-tab dialog, and again, the look and feel is consistent across all products, as well as the password reset process is consistent as well. And again, that's really what we wanted to do from a partner perspective. If you do choose to do business with us on more than one product, again, our goal is to have your experience as consistent as possible. The other thing that you will see that is specific to partners is we publish all our important documentation that you want to have access to, such as training, live webinars, specific downloads that you may find beneficial, such as the buyer's guide and so forth. All those things are really on the page, and again, very easy to remember. It's not yet another resource that you have to worry about. In contrast, this will be the page that you would be sharing with your end clients. You notice that where you will be able to place your logo, so that will be your company's logo that you will be positioning there. And then, as I said before, it's branded or powered by Autotask, because ultimately the data really resides with us. We are the one who are really the custodians of the data, and that actually is something that can work for you because of the geo-redundancy that we have, the security architecture that we offer, the high availability track rate that we have with our service. All those benefits obviously are applying to you because that's really where the data is hosted. Moving on to any kind of notifications that the system will issue, obviously the partner is at the forefront of these communications. You are the face of the service from a communication perspective, therefore your logo is there, as well as your name as the provider that created a workplace account for the customer. And again, your support information is at the bottom of those communications, so if the customer has any questions, and again, your email, your contact information is really where they need to go first. In terms of service delivery and customization, the other thing that we have really invested quite a bit of effort in is support of silent installation scripts. So whether you have an Autotask endpoint RMM or you have some other RMM or even just something that supports scripts, you can take advantage of them for member installation, configuration, authentication. All those can be done through scripts, and again, that saves you the time and effort of going on computer by computer to install them, but you can do it in a mass way. Same goes for mass device approval. So if a device needs to be approved, as long as that device is registered with a domain, we'll see some screenshots that show this. Those devices can be auto-approved, so you don't have to, again, spend time on individual devices approving one at a time. You obviously always have the option to do so, but if you wanted to do something a bit more trusted and automated, especially when you're talking about hundreds of users, that's definitely an option for you. Other enhancements that we've made, again, based on customer feedback, is having better control over default workplace folder setting. Historically speaking, it was under the user profile, and then any kind of directories were created underneath that. That structure obviously sometimes can become problematic is when you share linked Excel files, for example, when one Excel file is really pointing to the other and the path is absolute. What I mean by that is // profile name, username, and then another file. When I give that file to somebody else, obviously their name and username and profile name will be different, and those links used to break. By setting the default folder name to something different, like /data, then those can obviously be a bit more guaranteed. And again, Excel is one option. Of course, there's another option in Excel to actually use the relative path. But again, Excel is not the only one who supports linked files. Adobe products do that as well. So this way you can fix it in one way and fix it for all these products. We talked about the service provider info and all system notifications, and again, that's another opportunity for you to be the face of the service and again build that loyalty with your end customers. And again, we now offer the option to centrally control which projects to auto-sync, and so customers do not have to worry about that, but it can be associated with the profile. And the other one is obviously RMM-enabled service monitoring via status XML. What I mean by that is the agent now generates this XML file that is the status file that you can then take a look at. If there is a problem with the agent, the XML file then can be evaluated. If you do have an RMM, including Autotask Endpoint Management, then you will be able to parse that RMM the XML file, and then obviously take action within the PSA system to automatically take advantage of that. And those of you that already have the Autotask system, we already have a written monitor. We've taken the step to write a specific monitor for this that you can take advantage of. So here's an example of the account deployment option. So in the past, or most agents require username and access. We've now used an alternate technology where you can basically have a team key, and as long as you have that key embedded inside an installer, then the agent can automatically install and get approved, and the syncing can start. And we talked about the restricted device approval to a specific domain, and that's really what you see over there. And so those are the types of things that we now can do very quickly, very easily, and again, save you a tremendous amount of time. Here's an example of how an installer script can be used within an RMM. This is an example, a screenshot that you see here of Autotask Endpoint Management. So here we are basically utilizing the ability to run a batch script or a quick script. And then obviously we can choose any of the Autotask Workplace agent installer, as well as opportunity audit that we have as well built into the product, that you can take advantage of that to unlock opportunities that you may have among your existing user base. So to give you some example of what that means is that you may not necessarily be aware that your customers or your customers' employees are using products like Google Drive or Dropbox or any other personal FSS device and that are not sanctioned or managed. Using a tool like this basically will scan those machines and will tell you exactly how many unmanaged FSS tools are being used by your customers' employees. And you can use, obviously, that information to share with the owners of these organizations and decide what steps, if any, do they want to take to control the data and make sure that their environments are secure, from that perspective. Obviously, with every release, we also took the opportunity to add additional capabilities to the product. So with this release, we until now had a number of different permissions, obviously all the way from full control to read-write only, to read-only, and now we have view-only permission. View-only means that if a document is shared with an individual with a view-only permission, that document can only be viewed on the website. It cannot be downloaded or synced on the machine itself, and there's also an additional option to watermark the document. And again, we've seen this capability, and many of you have asked for this to be able to use highly secure documents, obviously, that you do not want anybody downloading. We've also separated the option to reshare a share that was shared with me, as well as the ability to create public links. And public links are links to documents or directories that you can share with others and that are not part of the Autotask Workplace environment, and where they can basically click on the link and then go to that specific directory, that specific file, and take action on it. And again, but they don't have full functionality of the entire environment. So that's something that your customers can share with their contractors, with their clients, and so forth. We also have the ability to disable any kind of agent notifications for end users. And again, that gives you an optional power to control, and obviously if you're the admin, you will be the one notified, or only the admin be notified. And again, that gives you the option and the control to decide when do you want to perform these upgrades on behalf of your customers, as opposed to them doing it whenever they get the notification directly. And we talked about now you have a full control over both workplace as well as backup path. And in the product itself, the product has both syncing ability as well as backup ability. Syncing obviously relates to things that you share with other individuals within the team. Backup is something that you do personally as the end user, that you back up your own files. And again, the content doesn't have to be the same. In fact, most of the time it will not be the same. Control of basically what to auto-sync upon install is also an option. So obviously, as a team matures, there are many projects that different teams share, and now you have control over whichever group you belong to, and again, what type of projects to automatically sync on the device itself. We also have AWP Manager logging and reporting, so that's something that, again, often comes up very frequently when we talk to when you talk to partners as well as to administrators, that they want to have really rich and detailed logging of activity, of what was added, what was removed, when was it added, and so on and so forth. And again, we've continued to enhance those functionality so you have a full audit history, if you will, of the changes that have happened with regards to any one team or a system. Here's a screenshot that shows you basically whenever you are within a project and you would like to share that project, you have all the range of different grant permissions on the document itself, from full access all the way down to online view only as the lowest permission that you can share. Obviously, no permission would be the last one. As well as you can see, both the ability to reshare as well as public links. And since you guys are prospects, just to clarification about what reshare means. So if, let's suppose, I will share the document as a read-only, the most I can share the document with anybody else is read-only or below. And I can never share the document as a modified because I never had the right to modify the document to begin with. So I can only share it with my permission or below that. And public links, obviously, is something that I can share with outside members or members not running AWP on their system, and that's really what that is. Here's the option to introduce a watermark on view only. So obviously, as you know, view only can still be copied, if you will, if you do a screen grab of the document itself using the print screen option of the laptop. But obviously, with the introduction of watermarks, the watermark will obviously basically put like a stamp in the background, like a watermark, obviously, in the background that mentions their name and their login. So this way, you will know which password was compromised or shared that document. Here's basically Workplace Desktop Upgrade Notifications. Again, Workplace Desktop, and this is, again, the option to hide notifications when upgrades are required, and again, only the administrators get those controls, the notifications. The other one is, obviously, we talked about the workplace folder locations and projects to sync. Those are the things that you can then obviously immediately set up on default, and as soon as that's what happens, then as soon as that user installs the agent, then those projects, obviously, the default folder as well as the project to sync automatically get executed. Here's the backup folders. You can obviously mass set up the backup folders that you want to back up using that agent. So for example, if you want automatically My Documents and the desktop to be backed up on every machine that Workplace is running, you can do that centrally, and there's no additional action that needs to be taken by the end user. They just need to install the agent and all that work will automatically commence. Obviously, we also have the mobile device, in this case, obviously, the iOS. So with this release, we've now fully support the Touch ID support on the app itself. So those of you not familiar with the Autotask Workplace app, it's basically a separate vault that all documents and content is encrypted in a secondary way than what the mobile device does. So that means if somebody basically gets a hold of your smartphone or your tablet and manages to get into that into your phone, they still need to figure out a secondary password in order to get to all the content that is inside Autotask Workplace Mobile. And with the introduction of Touch ID, obviously, you can use that, or if you want to use, obviously, more complicated keys, both options are supported. And the reason we are able to do this is because we have built-in viewers of common documents right within the app itself. This way, you don't ever have to remove the files from the app in order to view the Word document or Excel or PowerPoint. All those are built into the app itself, and again, improves security and obviously improves simplicity because you don't have to download additional apps just to see the content. The navigation of the app also was streamlined with this release. We'll see a few screenshots for that as well. And we've always had an ability to annotate PDF files on the mobile devices, both Android and iOS. And with this release, we now are bringing additional functionalities by way of annotation. That includes, obviously, scribbling, using a pen and a finger. So that would be good for, like, signing contracts, for example, or redlining a document that you would like others to comment or edit on. And all those capabilities, again, built into the mobile application. We also have ability to support now burst image capture. So we've always had the ability to take advantage of the camera on the device, both for video as well as images. But in the prior releases, you had to approve one image at a time. And we got a lot of requests to do burst images, like 4 or 5 or 6 images, then approve them all at once. And now we are able to do that. Also, obviously, we wanted better interaction from any kind of links that are being sent to the mobile device, whether it's via the texting option or the email option. So now those links obviously would automatically launch the app, the AWP app on the iOS or the Android, and obviously the document will automatically be presented there as well. So those type of things are now, again, this usability, simplicity, the natural way of working with the product is really what we wanted to go after. With the last release of iOS, Apple introduced multitasking. So if you are on the iPad and you are using the multitasking feature, Workplace will support that functionality. And there's many other minor enhancements as well, but these are just the highlights of what we've added to the product. You can also partially sync projects. You don't have to sync full projects to the device. You can choose which documents to sync. Again, realizing that mobile and smart devices are very limited in space, and so that functionality is definitely there, from that perspective. On the Android, again, we replicated the streamlined navigation, the annotation of the PDFs, as well as added a few additional capabilities to, again, achieve parity with the iOS around remote access. So, for example, if you have other products and projects and you want to basically access them, or if you want to access your laptop from your mobile device, that now is supported. Server search, so if you're looking for a document that is not on your mobile device, but it's actually on the app, you can actually do that. You can also move the devices. And we also always supported create options. So if you want to create a new Word document or an Excel, those functionalities are obviously built into the mobile device as well. Here's some screenshots of how Sooner Go looked, as well as how the Workplace mobile looks now. And again, all the functionality is right up front. You don't have to discover anything. You can just choose where you want to go. The default view is the projects that you have, and then you can just, going from there. This is a screenshot of the new PDF annotation engine. You can see there are a number of tools that you can see here. There are obviously different highlighters, scribbles, ability to put text, ability to put images, and obviously there's the new stamp option as well. You can see, final, confidential, and so forth that you can put on documents. And again, approve, reject, and so forth. Again, the types of things that you're likely to do if you are within a document on a mobile device. Some of the UI improvements that we've done beyond the change that you've seen, obviously there's the streamlined permissions options. So one of the core strengths of Autotask Workplace is our robust permission capabilities that helps our customers really demonstrate several advantages of this offering versus anything else that may be out there in the marketplace beyond the deep integration that we offer to their back office systems like just as PSA and RMM, and I'll talk to you about what that is. There's a simplified workplace desktop menu that now obviously has fewer but more effective options based on usability analysis that we've done. We've simplified some of the terminologies as well as the online navigation and the mobile navigation. So on the right, you see the old layout of our permissions. We had many settings, and again, we continue to have different dimensions, but we saw an opportunity to simplify the categories as well as the settings below them, and we believe that this approach will help you demonstrate multiple functionalities as you are talking to your prospects and your customers around Autotask Workplace. So before you had password policies, session policies, general, online, device, and mobile. And obviously, we found that the word policies everywhere, it's obviously policies because you are in the policies section. Again, opportunity for us to simplify and make it more straightforward, as well as put categories that are a bit more intuitive, such as security, password, desktop, mobile, editing, and notifications. So let's take a look at what we're going to find in each one of them and why is that important. So under security, you can see a lot of rich functionality there around how do we basically treat passwords and security. We saw some of it earlier, such as the watermark, but here basically you can see all the access security settings in one place. It's really plain English, so you don't really have to be a technical guru to understand it. And obviously, if you need to demonstrate how you help customers, be HIPAA compliant, and this is definitely one view that I would use. For example, wipe data account when deleted, or unlock override, project owner, session timeout, and device approval, and so forth. So all the things that we do around security. Same goes about password, the strength of passwords, how many times can you try a password before it automatically locks, what kind of passwords to reject, and again, very powerful way of demonstrating the professional grade of the application as well as the HIPAA compliancy that it helps customers achieve. Moving down to desktop. Again, new settings introduced with this most recent release is about the workplace desktop location, folder location, as well as projects to sync. And again, that helps you obviously control that. You have greater control over those settings. And again, less interaction with the user. Every user gets something standard that they expect. They're not being asked. There's no confusion. Same thing about backup folders and about remote access. Remote access goes to basically the ability from another device or from the web to go in and gain control over a machine that is running the workplace agent. So if you have other files that you want to get access to, you can do that through this process, and again, you can disable that if that's something that you don't want your customers doing. Moving on to mobile policies, again, you can disable mobile editing if that's what you wanted, as well as mobile exporting. That means that nothing can leave the vault and everything will always be protected, including images, documents, any kind of mobile adding and creating. If that's something you do not want to allow, you just want to say viewing. You can enforce authentication as opposed to just allow for some and those kind of things as opposed to server authentication. Projects to sync on mobile devices, if you want to allow that or not, and obviously account validation, meaning number of days offline before they have to recertify on the account itself. And again, that goes to the point where if a device is lost, even if you don't do anything, that device will obviously, that account will automatically lock after a number of days if that's something that you want to do. So again, it's automatically protecting itself through no action. On the online editing, this is really where you can help customers explain how we integrate and work with some online editors such as Microsoft Office 365 as well as others. And you can also provide the self-configuration and any kind of cloud alerts. Obviously, the other option is to work with local editors such as Office and so forth, and we use our locking technology for that. More than happy to talk to those of you that are interested more about learning how do we promote collaboration, how do we work with locking, and to basically ensure that documents are collaborated correctly and there are no conflicts. And obviously, there are other notifications such as storage emails when somebody is reaching their storage maximum, and other welcome emails to restrict to only to admins or to everybody, also an option. In this release also you will see some other bug fixes. Obviously, as with every release, we continue to work on that, as well as some deprecated functionality. So in the past, we did support BlackBerry, Windows Mobile, and Linux Agent. And with this release, we've really deprecated support for it because, quite frankly, the use was minimal and shrinking. And so rather than maintain the overhead for these devices, we decided to exit those platforms and really redouble our efforts on the Android and iOS devices. We continue to provide easy access to downloads, such as, for example, where to download the link. And again, this dialog right here, you can copy the link and put it as an email. And again, that it can be forwarded to an end user. Again, very simple, very easy way to onboard users, after the fact that you basically must provision them, if that's something that you, that you try to do. Or, of course, installing via Active Directory policy profiles or profile objects is definitely another option. Again, we support scripts, and so that's something that you can take advantage of as well. All right, so that summarizes the capabilities that we've added with this release, and hopefully I gave you some additional information about how you can work with the product to your benefit and by helping you reduce the operational overhead. But with this release, we really try to achieve three individual things. The first one is, again, reduce the service manager's costs that are associated through the deployment, configuration, and administration of the service. Obviously, this is something that you resell to your customers and you provide service for, and the more streamlined that process, the more integrated it is with your PSA tool, with your RMM tool, the more technology can work for you rather than you working for the technology. The other thing is that the improved branding that we've introduced and opportunities for you to place your name more prominently in front of a product, but at the same time enjoy the benefits of us maintaining the servers and maintaining the uptime and being the custodians of the data. It gives you greater visibility in front of the customer and therefore greater customer loyalty. And obviously from greater insight and control perspective, we've added more granular, detailed and auditing and reporting details so you have greater understanding of what your customers have done, when they've done it, so you're able to provide that information back to the stakeholders that you're providing the service to. And then from your customer perspective, obviously the more that you can help them take on, especially the complexity part of authentication, configuration, deployment, then there's perceived reduced complexity on their end, which means that the product is easier to use. They just install it and run it and everything just syncs, and that gives them greater satisfaction, and it, again, gives them that benefit that they can basically realize the ROI a lot faster. And obviously the greater options around view only and share permissions obviously give them more options and control around confidential company data that they need to protect so much, because obviously the most important asset in any organization is the data, and that's really what we are here to protect. In terms of rollout schedule, where we are, obviously this is a major undertaking for us because we have to rebrand every aspect of the service. And what really happened here is the partner webinar invites already took place. Our existing partner webinar also took place. The product is released on the service side, and we are just finalizing the release of the desktop agents, and the client notifications of existing customers have also gone out. So all these activities have concluded or are in final stages of it. So our customers are familiar with it. We have been getting really good feedback about the changes that we've made, and definitely welcome the opportunity to talk to you as well if this is something that you're finding of interest. In terms of next step, definitely, as Rebecca said, there will be a webinar recording as well. Release notes are a part of the product as well. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to contact us at sales@autotask.com. And there's also an updated partner program, which actually gives me a great pleasure and opportunity to transition the webinar now to Caroline Sansovera, who's going to walk you through the market overview and the AWP Partner Program. Caroline?
Thank you, Moshe. Nice job. I really appreciate you taking us through that. I can tell you that I know that there's been a lot of feedback this year from our existing partners and their end clients on how we can further enhance this product. And I can tell you the team has really delivered a tremendous update. So nice job, and appreciate you taking us through that. This is really, in my opinion, an exciting time to get involved with Autotask Workplace and now our partner program that I'll take you through here in just a moment. A lot of great things happening. So I'm here today to talk to you about the market opportunity around file sync and share, and how big is it, and what does that mean to you as a prospective partner. And Also, how can you generate revenue with Autotask Workplace? I'll take you through some examples on what that looks like and how you can really start to think about incorporating AWP into your managed practice and grow your business. I'll also talk to you about the partner program, of course, the benefits, and all the great tools and resources that come with that. So let's start by looking at the market opportunity. So IDC predicts that it's currently at about $1.6 billion, and it's estimated to grow to $2.3 billion in sales by the end of 2018. This is really a significant opportunity. If you think about the mobile adoption for devices amongst business users like you and I and everyone on the phone, we all have multiple devices these days, right? We've got laptops, we've got tablets, we've got smartphones. So I'm not surprised to see this number, and it's really accelerating the growth of this market opportunity. So the time is now to get your share. It's definitely for the taking. We also do a survey annually amongst our service providers, our customers, and we ask for some feedback on what they're hearing in the market, what are they hearing from their clients, and number one priority is security. So it's definitely top of mind. Your clients are telling us that they like the freedom to work anywhere, they like the ability to share files, and data security is definitely prominent. But in an increasingly mobile world, 20% of the global workforce telecommuting, this problem just continues to grow. When you think again about all the different mobile devices that are being used, the amount of data being passed back and forth, again, this just validates the need for a secure enterprise-grade file sync and share solution. It's becoming a bit of a free-for-all, to be honest. You know, the need for faster service, we want to always better service our clients. Responsiveness is huge. You know, there's no more, I'll get back to you tomorrow with that answer. You know, we want to be as responsive as we can. It's all about servicing our end clients. And as a result, there's a lot of different file sharing solutions that are found amongst businesses these days. It could be any one of these or all of them. And it's just making, you know, it's reinsuring the fact that there's files everywhere, right? And there's not a lot of control around it. And with that, 30% of employees have used unapproved cloud storage services for work-related files. These are potentially confidential files that shouldn't even be leaving you know, the location, to be honest. And it's just really putting businesses at risk, and it's making data security something that we all need to be thinking about as we're servicing our clients. You're their trusted advisor. This is something that you can kind of get ahead with and help them out with. And 63% of businesses are using remote storage devices, no surprise, USB drives. I don't know about anyone else out there, but I have a collection myself. They're not secure. You know, it's just what we've used over the years, and now it's time to find a more secure solution for handling those confidential work files. Think about, you know, what would happen if any of this important data, whether it's patient or consumer data, payroll, HR data, it can be anything. Just one breach could be devastating to your business, to your client's business, and we certainly want to try to stay ahead of that. So again, just reinforcing the importance of keeping data secure. So your clients need a better file sync and share solution. And we say that that is certainly a product like Autotask Workplace. It is the answer. It's secure. It's purpose-built for service providers like yourselves. And it's available exclusively through our Autotask Workplace Global Partner Program. This is a program we've gone to market, as Moshe said earlier. This was a strategic decision to go to market through the channel. We believe that this is the perfect solution that you can incorporate into your managed service practice. We do not list or publish pricing. We give you a cost. You set the price for your end clients. You're really in the driver's seat from that perspective. So now let's talk about the product itself. Moshe has done a really nice job of taking you through all the beautiful enhancements that have been made to improve the experience for partners. This is a mature product. It's essentially been around for 10 years in development. As Moshe mentioned, we did acquire Sooner about a year and a half ago, and this is a mature product. And it's purpose-built for you as the service provider to better service your clients. We have AWP Manager, as Moshe shared, that is available to you. Essentially, this is your portal to help provision and manage your end clients and administer different policies. And Moshe, do you want to just kind of add any input here regarding AWP Manager specifically?
Absolutely. Thanks, Caroline. So absolutely, one of the things that we did here, we wanted to really build a portal that allows you to more effectively and efficiently manage your clients. The first thing that we've heard over and over again from our partners is that the number one thing that continues to be an issue is the tight integration with the PSA. What they meant by that is twofold. One is obviously keeping the contract and the pricing correctly. So that's the one thing that we did built into our manager is the tight integration with Autotask contracts and billing. So as you provision teams, both the price and the cost automatically get adjusted, and as you dial up and down, those automatically get adjusted and automatically tracked as well, so you have a full track history of what was changed and when. The other dimension that also customers wanted to streamline and connect was around support. So as tickets were sent through the service itself, because almost every service now has an ability to say, send an email to the administrator, those emails can now automatically be rerouted to the Autotask service desk module, which obviously then can be handled appropriately. It's a lot more robust ticketing and service desk engine. So all those things, obviously, it removes that service management capability from support and keeping your contracts right out of the way. So really, the service is now fully managed and automated. And obviously, the other side, as we talked about RMM. So that's really what we wanted to do here is create basically an MSP-centric, MSP-aware environment and understand and take advantage of their tools. So we've invested in those dimensions.
Thank you, Moshe. I appreciate that. I know for those of you on the phone, I just wanted to kind of give you a deeper look at some of the enhancements and the things that will really resonate with you as service providers for Autotask Workplace Manager. Again, we've got an exceptional, security, granular policy options that you can set for your clients around two-factor authentication, remote wipe capabilities. Moshe also talked about the new policies that you can put in place regarding sharing and resharing public links and the watermarking capabilities. So we continue to make sure that we're not only listening to our partners, but their end clients as well, so we can make this the best and most secure solution that it can be. It's built for collaboration. I use it, Moshe uses it, Rebecca uses it. We use this every day, and we're collaborating globally on files and projects, and it really streamlines the workflow, reduces the time that you're having to spend on projects. And we have a CRN Appy Award-winning mobile app that really enhances the mobile access and mobility aspect of this product. So being able to edit and access and view files remotely on your device is definitely something that is going extremely well. And I think the best thing of all, for me, being an end user of it, it's so easy to use and it's intuitive. And we hear that from our existing partners as well. So I'm hoping that at the end of this webinar, you'll certainly be excited to maybe take the next step and see a live demonstration, and you'll see how easy it is to use for yourself. So let's talk a little bit now about how you as a prospective partner can potentially, create and generate different types of revenue, one being project revenue. We talk about some different ways that you can do this. This slide is a little hard to read, I apologize, but you're doing this every day with the other solutions that you provide within your managed services bundle. You're doing upfront assessments and engagements with your clients. You're making recommendations. You're doing POCs, proof of concepts for your clients, and you're implementing solutions for them. You're doing training. We actually provide you with scripts and PowerPoint decks to do the end client-facing training if that is something you choose to do. Whether you charge for it or not, that's up to you, but it is an opportunity to create some project-driven revenue. So these are examples of how you can generate project revenue. And once you've got AWP deployed and it's implemented and your end clients are up and running and they're trained, now it's about managing it and maintaining it going forward. So the very natural next step to this is then talking about how this will deliver a monthly recurring revenue model for you as a prospective partner. So let's take a look at what that might look like. If we look at a typical managed services user bundle, it might include things around RMM, as Moshe mentioned, so asset inventory, whether it's AEM and you're an Autotask customer or you're using another RMM tool. Your bundle might look very similar to this, and then you add in your PSA solution, again, whether it's Autotask or not. You're streamlining now the service desk component of this bundle, and maybe you're charging $50 a user per month, which is a great revenue stream. But if you look at now the bundle that I've added to the slide below for Autotask Workplace, you can see now how you can start to really increase your incremental revenue on a monthly basis by delivering now mobile device management, remote file and folder access, file sync and share and collaboration solution tools, and all for a cost of $10 to you as the prospective partner, but then you can charge up to $20 per user to really start to see a nice increase in your monthly recurring revenue stream. This is something that will really help retain customers, really showcase you as a trusted advisor, and help with the stickiness. It's going to really help with retention. So let's move on now to the partner program. So this is something certainly very near and dear to my heart. I've been on board about a year now. We launched this program back in February, and I can tell you that the core of this program is really around the partner playbook and the partner toolkit. Our philosophy here is all about enabling our partners and making it as easy as possible to get onboarded, get technically enabled, and give you the tools you need to drive leads and close business. Okay, so some of the different benefits that come with that are these that I'm listing on the screen: a dedicated account manager. We have partner development managers also as a nice sales overlay who are there to help you joint sell. This is not just thank you for joining the program, Mr. Partner, but we're here to help you, and we want to help you sell to those first few clients until you're comfortable selling on your own. We have a fixed cost, as I mentioned, so you set the end client pricing. We have a ton of education available, both live and on demand. And all of this comes with the support that you need to not only, you would be responsible for supporting your end clients directly, but we are here for you to give you the next level support as your partner if you need it. The internal use licenses are something that we feel add a lot of value because this is not only to help support your internal business, but once you get using it, your team gets comfortable using it, you're more likely to sell it. You're more likely to understand the value of it, and they're there to support your pre-sales process and your post-sales process. So definitely a robust program. I'm very proud to be a part of it, and we will continue to develop it and improve it as we go forward. Some of the tools I'd like to just give you a nice look at here that are available in the toolkit. These are here for you to help generate leads. We've made it very easy to use these tools. They're all co-brandable. You'll see the Autotask Workplace partner logo on the bottom right of our assets, but the white space to the left is all for you to put your logo there, to put your contact information there. We want you to be able to go to market and put your best foot forward in a very consistent co-branding experience kind of way. That was my goal. I wanted the co-branding to be consistent. We offer social media campaigns and client-facing PowerPoint decks and all these great assets, the FSS Buyer's Guide, Security Architecture Guide. These are the things that will help you generate interest amongst your existing client base and prospects. Part of the toolkit is branding. So I mentioned the partner logo that we've created. There's some different versions for you to use here if you want to create your own collateral. We certainly have partners kind of putting their own twist on things, and that's okay. We also give you the product logos to do that. We just ask that you use these so that the co-branding is consistent. Another feature of our toolkit is a variety of email templates. So also co-brandable. These are just 3 examples. These specifically referencing our Buyer's Guide, which is a nice introductory nurture campaign that you can launch to drive leads. And we make it all available to you via the toolkit. We also include 6 competitive email templates that you can use. If you know specifically that an end client is using a particular solution that might compete with Autotask Workplace, you can use that template to send to that particular client. We're really trying to make it as easy as possible for you to generate leads. So just a couple of other things regarding some recent enhancements we've made. This co-branding experience is consistent now across all of our assets. So you'll see in our toolkit it's consistent regardless the type of asset it is. We've just added an overview, AWP solution one-pager, the 16 social posts for buyer's guide, and you can see there the other things I've mentioned, client-facing collateral and presentations as well. So I want to just move quickly now to show you the partner playbook. We are nearing the top of the hour, so I'll try to just give you just a quick highlights here. This is the partner playbook. It's meant to take you from start to finish through your onboarding experience. About getting started. It helps you with your technical enablement, and then it's all about really getting to the next page here where we start talking about uncovering and discovering the opportunity in your base. We give you the tools to do that. We give you the ideas. We give you the discovery questions, and then we help you run plays to generate leads. We talk about some best practices for retention and support, and ultimately it's all about helping you close business. So that's really the crutch of this program, is the playbook. So lastly, I just want to finish up by highlighting some of our third-party marketing tools and programs. We have relationships in place with some marketing and sales partner experts out in the market there. People like MindMatrix, who have a marketing automation platform. I'll talk more about that in a moment. But we've partnered with managed sales pros who can help you set those appointments. They can do outbound and cold calls for you. Marketopia can create content and offer a variety of marketing services. And MailerMailer offers email marketing services and content creation as well. We do the introduction. These are not services or solutions that we're selling. We just recognize that there's partners out there that may not have dedicated resources to do this on their own, and so they might need a little bit of assistance. So we do the introduction, and then you're off and running. I do want to take a moment to highlight this program, and then I'll hand it back to Rebecca for Q&A. So MindMatrix is a solution that has been fully integrated with our Autotask PSA. We've joined forces with them to really offer our Autotask Workplace partners a seamless Marketing Advantage program. And what that means is that if you were to buy into their platform as an Autotask Workplace partner, you would have instant access to all of our collateral, all of our content, and instantly co-brandable. So it's really a nice program because it takes all the prep out of it and allows you to get up and running with a campaign in literally minutes. It's really, really slick. And the integration with PSA, they've done a really nice job. This is a look at the partner portal interface with a dashboard, of course, but the integration with PSA offers bidirectional contacts and capabilities. Gives you the ability to nurture those contacts. When you bring leads into Autotask PSA into the CRM, it will convert as an opportunity. So you can see how it will really streamline your workflow when it comes to generating leads, following up, and closing deals. So the integration is really, really key. So that's it for me, Rebecca. I'd like to hand it back to you. Oh, I'm sorry, some quick next steps, my bad. I'm hoping that you're all seeing the excitement and the value in this opportunity when it comes to Autotask Workplace. I'm encouraging you to take a closer look at the program after this call. If you have questions, you can contact your existing account manager for more information. If you're not an Autotask customer, please feel free to reach out to the same address. We can put you in contact with someone and have that next discussion. Then once you get up and running with the program and Autotask Workplace, it's all about introducing it to your clients and your prospects and start generating that monthly recurring revenue with Autotask Workplace. So I thank you again for the opportunity today to speak with you all, and I'll hand it back to you, Rebecca, now for some Q&A.
Thanks very much, Caroline. And I think I can safely say that you did just as good a job as Len would have done, although please don't anyone tell him I said that. Yeah, really informative. And I know you and Moshe and a whole team of people work tirelessly to put these programs in place to support our partners, to get our prospective clients interested in the solution. And it's really exciting for me to see, what we've achieved over the last year and a half since we acquired Sooner. So thank you very much indeed for presenting on that today. We do have some questions that have come through while you guys have been presenting. The first question is, I think this is maybe one for you, Moshe, which is some customers have QB or other types of files that they don't necessarily need to sync but back up. Can we just use the backup option of Sooner or of Autotask Workplace and not AEM, or is it better for them to have both?
Great question. So the short answer is that Workplace can only work with backup as well if that's what you need. But on a personal note, if I were to advise you as a colleague, I would say that that may be an overkill for those customers. For that reason, we actually created a separate product. We call it AEB, or Autotask Endpoint Backup, that you may want to consider, that is designed specifically for that reason. It really strips out all the FSS tools as well as the complexity, and again, that additional functionality is needed and required for FSS, but is definitely not needed for backup only. So if backup is only that you need, or some customers that need backup, please talk to your account manager or talk to us about endpoint backup, and that definitely will be the tool for you. Okay.
Great. Thanks, Moshe. Another question, which maybe you can help us answer, is to do with the new AWP agent that's been released. So one of our attendees has sent us a question. A new AWP agent has been released, but it no longer works on Vista or Server 2008. How much longer will the previous Sooner branded client continue to work? Because we have some customers with Server 2008 that we cannot upgrade the agent on.
Right. So the old version, we will not take any steps to disable it. If we do, you need to let us know, but we have not taken any steps to disable it. The one thing that I would need to caution you is that if you do have an error or an issue that comes up, the likely answer from support will be to upgrade to the new version. So I foresee that you probably have between about 6 to 12 months. The only time that we will disable agents from running on operating systems is when Microsoft decides to not support the operating system anymore. And then we, just being on a safe side, we will then take steps to disable the agent. But at this point, we will not disable agents and prevent them from working with the service.
Okay, thanks for that. Another question we get, I know we don't like to talk competitors too often, but I know we do get asked a lot, Moshe and Caroline, about differentiating between Autotask Workplace and competitors, particularly Office 365. Can you guys talk about how we differentiate ourselves from these kind of products?
Absolutely. I'll cover the product side, and then Caroline perhaps can talk to the partner program and everything else. So from a product side, the one thing that I would definitely talk about is the robust sharing capabilities that I've reviewed in series of slides that you've seen here about how granular the sharing can be across file formats, products. It's really just content. Any content that you would like to share or your customers want to share with their colleagues, all these permission rights will automatically apply. So it's really at the server level, at the content level, not just Office content that it applies to. So that's one dimension, is just that ability to have that level of freedom to just share content, any content, with any one of your customers and basically benefit from that. The second thing that I would say is that you as a service provider, how much overhead can you incur on a product that is now included with Office when it comes to sharing, permissions, management, versus, tools that allow you to more effectively and efficiently and securely administer sharing and delivery of content to your customers, and you being the backbone or the trusted advisor, from that perspective. So those really be the highlights that I would focus on first and foremost, is that level of reliability, the content independence or agnostic, if you will, as well as OS agnosticness, that you can share any content on any platform, Android, iOS, Mac, Windows, server, or desktop, and then that content, we basically test on all those platforms and, obviously give you commitment that that's what we support and that's what's going to work. So that's really where I would focus on at the highest level, is those type of things, as well as the granularity of the sharing that we talked about, is the different levels of sharing. I mean, can you comply with HIPAA? Can you enforce hard passwords? Can you integrate in a specific way? Those are the types of things that that sometimes these products that they come in, they can be very good at the very narrow definition of what they tend to do, but they don't complete the picture of what your customers overall want to do with their content, period. Caroline, I don't know if you want to add anything else from a partner program perspective.
Sure. Thank you for taking that first piece. From a partner program perspective, I can tell you, it really comes down to the tools and resources and the joint sales approach that we take with our partners. It's setting us apart from the competition. We've had partners tell us that they've joined the program because we actually have a playbook, and we're not just leaving them hanging out there to dry. So they're not just signing and then it's, oh, good luck, Mr. Partner. We're there with you every step of the way, and the joint sales approach is one that we believe very, very strongly in, because we want to help you sell to your end clients. Again, we're not just, putting it all on you to take everything we have and run on your own. We're going to walk before we run, and we're going to help you do that. So it's very more, I would say, more of a personal partnering approach.
Yep, great. Thanks, guys. Really thorough answer from both of you on that. So thank you. I know we get that question, all the time. One for you, Moshe. When will the new app be available for iOS? I know you talked a little bit about that earlier on in the webinar.
Absolutely. So we submitted the application for the App Store, and there's a process of authentication and certification that we are just going through right now. We expect that to happen within the next week or so. And the change for iOS specifically is that because now the entity is no longer Sooner, but it's Autotask Corporation, we had to obviously register as a new company, post the app as Autotask, and so there's going to be a bit of a change there, from where you used to be and how people used to discover it versus where it is right now. But we will put pointers around there, but we expect within like a week or two, that's really what we expect the App Store to kind of respond to us, approve the app. We've done it before, we know how to do it, but that's really where we are right now. We've submitted the app and waiting for approval from Apple.
Great. Okay, thank you. Next question. This kind of shows how, we've got a really international crowd here today. We've got a question from a Swedish MSP who said that they originally purchased Sooner from a local distributor, and they want to know if it's possible for them to join the partner program and bring along their current customers.
So we do have a process for that. Obviously, we want to be very respectful to our partners that have helped obviously start the business and bring Sooner to you, so we're grateful to them. And what we would want to do is obviously we will have a few questions for you in terms of any kind of existing contract that you may be under or any kind of financial obligations. So please work with one of our reps. We will ask you those questions, be as respectful to the partner as we can. Obviously, we have agreements in the back end to make sure that they're being made whole. And so reach out to us directly. We've got a process for that. And again, at this point, I want to take an opportunity to thank again for all the distributors that have made Sooner the success that it has been, because without their hard work, we would not be here today. But we do have a process for that as well. So please contact us and we'll work with you.
Yeah, and presumably, Moshe, it's okay if they contact you or Caroline directly on that, or should they get in contact with their account manager, or who should they go to?
Their account manager, their account managers in Autotask have been instructed, and they know what to do. And if they need to escalate to us, by all means, we will be happy to do so. If they reach out to us, we will just direct that to the account manager to start the process, and then they can engage with us as needed. Okay, great stuff. Thank you.
Slightly technical question, Moshe, maybe one for you. Are there any plans for exception reporting, i.e. if an agent does not back up for 7 days, shoot an alert to someone to investigate?
So two ways that we are able to meet that today, but looking to do something in the future as well. So today, as I said before, we have the ability to, we're writing an XML on the agent itself. So it basically writes back out when was the last update on that XML, as well as about 20 different parameters that the XML contains about the health of the product, which obviously creates the opportunity for an RMM product, remote management monitoring, like AEM, to parse that XML and then basically create tickets and alerts and everything else right in the Autotask system. Now, I understand that this question can also be in the context of, can those alerts be posted in the manager portal? I know that there's one that we automatically generate. Evan, if you're on the line, I don't know if you know what functionality do we have within the manager in this regard.
So the manager will give you certain information, and 7 days offline is one of them, but as Moshe mentioned, with most of the RMMs, including endpoint management, you can actually custom build filters to tell you whenever you want, whatever detail you want on the agent being offline or online or different statuses. But in your manager overview board, you will see device offline, last time connect, that sort of information. So yes, it is possible today, and then as Moshe said, we'll be looking for more in the future.
Okay, great. Thanks for that, Evan.
Hey, Rebecca, I also see a question here from one of our customers. It's regarding to an issue that they had with an integration. Matt, please, we will follow up with you and support with regards to that issue, find out the root cause, and we will get back to you with an update. I'm not specifically familiar with this issue, but I will definitely find out. We'll circle back with you and close the loop.
Great, thanks for that, Moshe. Got another question about storage for mobile devices. How much is included? Can you talk to that a bit?
Sure. So with the introduction of Autotask Workplace, we really simplified the process as well as how the product is delivered and purchased. In the past, you had 4 or 5 different dimensions. There was a Pro version, an Enterprise version, and there were different types of user types and so forth. With this, with Autotask Workplace, there's really one product and one flavor, which is basically the flavor that has all the functionality in it. And it comes basically with 50 gigabytes of storage per user. And that user can log in from any device, including mobile devices. So we don't count the devices, we count the users. So with every user, you have a user that carries a password. So that's really how that works. And then storage is pooled at the team level. So if I have 5 users, for example, I would have total combined storage of 250 megabytes, and then I can allocate that storage by project, and each project can carry whatever storage it needs. And again, I can distribute it any way I wish, I see fit, and that's really how it works. So we're not tracking, for the Workplace FSS, we're not tracking devices, we're tracking users, and storage is at the team level.
Okay, great. Thank you very much indeed, guys. I'm just having a look in the Q&A box and the chat box right now, and I think we've covered all the questions. So I think all that remains is to say thank you very much again, Moshe and Caroline, for your time today, for the really engaging, interesting presentations. I hope everybody who's stuck with us through the webinar got lots out of it, got lots of information that they needed. Like Caroline and Moshe both mentioned, if you want to get in touch with us for any reason, if you want a demo of the product, if you want more information about our partner program, get in touch with your account manager, or if you're not already an existing customer, get in touch with us at sales@autotask.com. We'd love to hear from you, and we look forward to seeing you again in another webinar really soon. So thanks, guys, and till next time. Bye-bye.